Right, so before we anti-foul, we may as well give it a quick polish on it because it's a bit dull. Got all of Gemma's jokes. Right, let's give it a polish. So I've buffed this side. As you can see, you've got a bit of a shine to it now. You'll need another pass at some point, but we're mainly buffing this now because we're going to be putting the new anti-foul to here, but we don't want the buffer to be passing the anti-foul. So yeah, you can't really tell on camera, but you can see reflections now. Still not done the port side yet, so I need to crack on with that. So you can see how dull it is. Moving the blues all pasty. Right, so I'm going to do that before we anti-foul.
So there we go, there's the tape line all ready. Next job, paint your boat.
Right, so what are you about to do, Gem?
Make a mess.
Oh.
My rollers fell in.
Already? Never mind. At least your gloves are blue. So what colour are you going for?
Blue!
Why are you doing blue?
Because I got bored of grey.
I think this is the most expensive paint we've ever used, isn't it?
Yeah. And it washes off. Doesn't even last 2 years. It's the wrong colour.
That is the wrong colour. Never mind. It's the wrong colour, but good job no one ever sees it because it's below the water.
I like it though.
Unless the fishes have a preference, I don't know. Right, so she's done the first little bit. So we'll check back in about 3 hours. And we'll see how she's getting on.
Why did you buy me the world's smallest roller?
Do you ever use bigger ones?
Well, on a big boat like this, it...
I'm complaining.
So Robbo's just been out through the shops and got me a bigger roller. So, should go even quicker now.
Right, so we've done both sides underneath and the transom now. First coat, almost took about 2.5 hours. Been doing it dead nicely, and I think what we should do is wax it on because we were quite unsure about how much paint we've got, but we've got loads of paint left, so gotta leave that now for I think it's 4 hours. So yeah, I've got to do 2 more coats. Woo! Here comes Gemma to feed the troops. What have you made us?
Ham sandwiches and crisps.
Yeah.
That's all you're getting.
That's all we get. So how many coats are we on now?
We've done 2 coats. We're on to the final one now. That is what is recommended on the paint can, and it should last 2 years.
I think it's a sales tactic to sell more paint, but 3rd coat it is. At the moment it looks great.
Don't go too close.
Time is it, Gem?
The big reveal time.
It's not really that big, is it?
So we've done 3 layers of anti-foul, as recommended. And time to see how good my tape line is, isn't it?
Crisp. Can't let Gemma have all the fun, can we? She'll be upset when she gets around the side and finds it's done.
Hey! Pay me glory.
I haven't got any gloves on tonight.
Hey.
Don't get over Mum's chair. What does it look like?
Don't know, I've not stood back and looked at it yet.
So that's just taken us a whole day basically to put 3 coats of paint on it. You wouldn't think of the surface area, would you? But it's huge. You happy?
I am.
So put a few blobs of glue on the back of it because it's very, very weighty. So it's hanging off the back of 2 M10 studs. And the M10 studs can carry it, but the concern is a bit of vibration because there is an air gap behind it. The vibration could cause fatigue, couldn't it? So hopefully with the sealant or polyurethane, should stop it vibrating. Not that they vibrate, don't know. So now what we're going to do is have a look inside the fuel tank, because on marine fuel tanks there's an abundance of moisture, isn't there? And the diesel is hygroscopic, so it really wants to, like, the fuel wants to absorb the water in the atmosphere. So it all goes in the tank and then leaves a big sludge in the bottom. So before we set off, it'd be nice to have a look inside the tanks. So luckily on top of the tank there's a big sort of inspection hatch, which is a bonus. So under all these bolts then we should be able to see inside. Oh yeah. We've got fuel in there. It looks very red. Well, that's a good sign. That's a good sign, isn't it? So, I mean,
We've got fuel.
we've got fuel.
Half a tank.
We've got half a tank. The fuel gauges are reading half a tank. You never know, do you? What I think we do, I've actually brought a pump and a filter, so I think we should pump all that out and we'll see if there's any water in it, because we won't be able to see the water, will we? But it looks clean. You can see the bottom. It's good. It's good news. So here we have a motorcycle fuel pump, which actually has a pressure regulator on it, so if your filters block up, it'll actually stop pumping, which I think is great. Problem is they're not stainless steel. Anyway, and we've got 2 filters, bought these from Ultra Jumble a while back, so we made our own little fuel polishing type system, but all we're going to be doing is moving the fuel from the tank into our big clear barrel at the moment. So we can have a proper look at the fuel. So I don't know if it's going to work, but so I got a little pipe. Could you have like taping a stick on it, so because it's just going to like curl out the way.
Go on, I'll control the pipe.
Yeah. Okay. So I'm going to plug this in here. So first we're going to check for leaks. I don't know why it's pulling that one at first. Oh, it's come out quite nice actually. So if we get any water, we'll see it in this bowl. Oh yeah, I think this filter's blocked. Maybe that's why we have dual filters, it just opens up the surface area. Right, we'll let that do its job for the sucking out.
So we filled up all of the barrels that we brought with us, and the tank still isn't empty. No. But it's looking really, really clean in there. There's no sludge in. We haven't pulled up any water, have we?
No water at all, no.
So I think we're going to just put the fuel back in, and we're quite happy that we know.
Yeah, the fuel system sounds good. Obviously we're changing the filters and whatever downstream.
So if there is any little bits in there, the filters will get them. So another job ticked off.
Yes, just got to get all this back in now, haven't you?
Yeah. But it was nice to, you can see the bottom of the tanks, and you can see there's not much there at all, is there?
There's nothing there, no. Well, I don't think so, no. Yeah, it's like it's cleaner than a normal fuel tank. Yeah.
It's probably cleaner than a water tank.
Yeah.
Right then, refuel.
Refuel tank. And we've got we basically went from half a tank to a quarter of a tank. So we know, what is it? Just under 100 litres is a quarter of a tank. Am I right in saying? Because we've filled up 4 25-litre barrels.
And how much? We started with half.
We started with half. We still got a quarter. So basically 400 litres each.
Yeah, I think it sounds
Probably
right.
just under, because we haven't completely filled these barrels, but yeah. There you go, 400 litres. 400 quid a tank.
Bagsy not paying the fuel bill.
We won't use that much fuel.
Not when we
But
just
technically we could probably get to France or something from there.
with the fuel capacity.
Yeah.
I don't know, we haven't worked out how many gallons per mile, have we?
Miles per gallon.
Gallons per mile on this, I think.
It says it on your card, doesn't it?
So when we're putting the fuel back in, there's a little very fine mesh filter into the funnel going into the tank. So I'm the holder, Simon's the pourer.
Pour me. Red gold, this, isn't it?
The boat is getting surveyed. After all the boats we've owned, this is the first boat that we've actually got a proper survey on, because it was required for the insurance. So we've got Rob Taylor here from Taylor Marine Surveys, who is gonna go through the boat top to bottom and give it a full assessment. So I've got my fingers crossed that everything's gonna be okay.
So there's a little marks, there's a long line of marks at on this side, or straight through. It's fine.
Excuse me.
What?
Do you realise how long I spent painting that the other day?
Yeah, well, I've got
Rob!
It's great, isn't it? We've got to look at the hull, haven't you? So
when he's finished the survey, I'm going to get the anti-foul out and a roller for him.
you will as well.
I will as well, yeah.
Well, look why he's doing it. Oh.
Right, 11. 11, so it matches. So if we go above the waterline and do a reading above the waterline, it's lower, because below the waterline's had an epoxy coat put on in its life.
Cool. So it's got a good bottom.
It's got a good bottom, it sounds good all the way around. Yeah. So we're looking at 11 over 11, so a shallow reading of 11, which will be in that epoxy layer there, and then a deeper reading, which is 11, which will be in the matting from there.
So you're going to go around and draw on my boat now as well, are you?
It's only chalk, come on. We can this part of the hull we can get to from inside, so we can do an inside out read as well to clarify what the matting is as well. We don't, otherwise it's just it's not, in a way it's destructive. If it has a high moisture content, if it looks something like chaparral.
So there we go. Survey has been done.
Ooh, did we buy a dud? Did we buy a dud?
No, we didn't.
Scratched on the outside of the boat, I know that.
So I've got a bit of touching up to do with some anti-foul.
Yeah.
We obviously scraped it back to test the moisture content of the hull and stuff like that, so it's all fine. So we've got some recommendations. A couple of things, well, saying a couple of things we need to do before we go in the water. We need to buy new fire extinguishers because they're like over 10 years out of date. So we need them for the automatic ones for in the engine and
engine room, and we're just going to replace them all because the last thing you want is a fire at sea, don't you? So
yeah, because we won't have any water, will we?
No, there'll be no water to pull it out.
Handles for the seacock. There's 2 seacocks at the back.
Yeah.
What are they for?
They're like the deck drains.
Deck drains. And there's no handles
There's no
on
handles, so they need handles. The actual seacocks work, so all we need is the handles.
But you sort of always have them open anyway, don't you?
Yeah.
That's your deck drain.
Yeah, but if you're sinking,
you
want to go under and go close.
Yeah. So we just need 2 handles.
Yeah.
And there's a section of pipe.
The bilge blower pipe. It's basically like a big 3-inch hose. Looks like it comes out the back of your dryer. So we're going to replace all that. But we're going to replace it with more modern stuff, aren't we? Some like big heater hose.
That wasn't nothing that's going to stop us getting in the water there, was it? Was that just a recommendation?
Yeah, it's a recommendation, but we may as well do it now.
So that was it? 3 things, really?
So
could have been worse, couldn't it?
Yeah, it could have been like, oh, you've got osmosis, or you've got this, or you've got that, or...
Yeah, obviously there was a couple of random things, like obviously your chart plotter doesn't work.
Yeah. But that's...
Rob, who surveyed this boat, actually surveyed it a couple of years ago as well, and it didn't work then, and that's something we need to do something about, because obviously that not working was probably one of the biggest causes for someone running it up the rocks.
Yes, not knowing where they were in the world.
Yeah, so we are going to upgrade a few things on the boat before we go in the water. transducers, because obviously they need putting on before we go in the water.
Yeah, unless you're really quick when you're in the water. But
and it's quite expensive to lift a boat in and out, isn't it? So we're going to do them. Got a new chart plotter on the way and a new VHF radio. Thank you so much to Janice and Robbo for all of their awesome help. There's so much work they've done off the camera that you didn't get to see. We spent ages cleaning off all the old anti-foul and getting it all smooth, and obviously painting it as well. So we really, really appreciate your support. So thank you all for watching. Come back next time, because we're going to be servicing the engines and fitting some goodies to the boat.